Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Magical Merger. What is this? Well, I've got the WILDSEER'S Tarot before me. I've got the Wild Reflections on the right. One is by Chris Ann and Hay House, and the other is Wyspell. I've been playing with the two decks. I have found that Wild Reflections does have a good voice. Really, really like it. I like the fact, too, that it has the golded edges, because if you live in a humid type climate, they don't warp as much. I love the backs on these ones, and don't mind the backs on these ones, but they feel about the same. And you can see the images. Well, I've been talking to a girl on the internet, a woman, and we both believe that they're almost like sister decks. Very, very similar images, style, and you know what? The cards are identical in size. So what I'm talking about here is choosing a 78 card deck for you from these two decks. 78 cards chosen by you for you because of what you like. So if you've got two decks or thinking of buying one and you got the other one, if there's cards in it, like I believe Gemini Grey Wolf was talking about the fact that she didn't like the Page of Cups, I think, in the WILDSEER'S. And it's not my favorite either. But the idea here is make your own deck. And I'm surprised. I was thinking about merging these two decks together and just shuffling them, but they would be monstrous in size. So what I've done, well, I'll just show you a few from the WILDSEER'S first. Nice bright colors. They got a nice swoosh when you're working with them. It's modern. It's a happy deck. And it really invites you in. Good imagery, invokes great emotions, and it talks pretty good too. So that is the WILDSEER'S. And then we have some of the Wyspell. And again, nice sound. I quite enjoy when I'm doing a reading when the cards go side by side and some of these magical star-like things just sort of run from one card into the next. It's an inclusive deck. It's bright. This one doesn't appeal to me, the Chariot. But that's the idea. This one has gold gilding. Love the backs. But the idea, well, it's merging the two decks. Picking those 78 cards that appealed to me that I could then read with. It's like a special deck. It's like a third deck. And if anytime I want to change any of the cards, if one of them starts to give me some grief, then I can do that. So let's put these aside. I'm going to pause and be right back. So here's my deck. It's got its own special box. It was gifted to me when my mother passed and I received and inherited her wedding ring. It came all in this beautiful box with a few other items. Now, this is going to be my WILDSEER'S tarot. And what I did was put the cards down side by side, and without thinking too much, whichever card I gravitated towards is the card that I would be placing in my personal deck. So I'm going to place these on a little holder so my thumbs aren't all over them, and let's take a peek. Okay, it's still a chunky deck. You can see I can just barely get it on my little card holder. So I got to watch it doesn't slip off. But also I wanted to show you, yeah, that was kind of interesting. You can see the gilded edge cards there, and that is the Wild Reflections. So I did pick more WILDSEER'S by Chris Ann. And let's just run through the cards. Again, it's a personalization of two decks that I feel, and many I think out there do, that these are sisters. They're the exact same size even. They just fit together nicely. So there is my chosen fool. Now the woman I've been talking to, if I forgot to mention, was Gemini Grey Wolf. And she had an issue with the Page of Cups. So hopefully this gives you the idea that if you have the two decks, merge them. Pick your own. And you can call it something else, but I'm calling it the WILDSEER'S. It was fun to do. Some of them I wavered on, but I tried not to overthink it. Oops, get back up there, you. So there's the strength one that I chose. It's nice that this brings in the whole background that you see on the Wild Reflections deck back. And I like the fact that owning both decks, if I get bored, I can put them all in order again and reselect. I have found the Wild Reflections talks quite well. I love this Tower card. I can just almost get into that little squirrel's head and just enjoy the whole scene and the change and the transformation and the sudden, what's happening? Really liked the energy of this star card, and that is the Wyspell. As soon as I got that Wyspell deck, I found that I kept looking at the box and the booklet to make sure they weren't created by the same artist. Now I guess after this video, I can actually shuffle them, do a little deck blessing, and begin to read the merged decks. And at the end, I think I'll do a little shuffle, or just randomly pick a few and lay them out. Just so you can see the harmony and the blend of the two decks. Great King of Pentacles. I think, yeah, the Wyspell is a little bit slipperier. And that is the WILDSEER'S I just flipped over there. I liked the emotion sometimes that was showing up in the WILDSEER'S. A lot of action. And that one is from, see, I can't tell until I turn it over. That one is the WILDSEER'S. I believe this one is Wild Reflections. Yes. When I first saw this card, I really thought the woman was sitting in a wheelchair. But it's not. I can see the rest of the bicycle there. But my mind still goes to that idea that there's a little bit of a struggle in mobility as well as making a creative decision. But if you've used both these decks, if you own both these decks, have you found one that talks a little bit better than the other? Or does one visually take you places that the other doesn't? If you struggled with a few cards that don't appeal to you, would you be interested in merging the decks? I don't know if I have two other decks that really fit as well. So we're heading into the cups now, and it'll be interesting to see, because I don't remember which page I chose. So for Gemini Grey Wolf, we'll have to wait and see. I think the cups I struggled with in the Knights. I don't think either one really stood out for me. So I just made a choice, and I can switch later on. I had no problem picking this Seven of Cups. I really liked that one. I think it was the expression on his face. And that is from the WILDSEER'S. There it is. I ended up with the Page of Cups. And Gemini Grey Wolf is not keen on him. And it's the expression, I think, on the face and the disjointed feeling. But he is young. He's someone that has a difficult time making a decision. He is a dreamer. Maybe flies by the seat of his pants a bit. And emotions can be overwhelming for this fellow. But for now, if it bothers me, I'll switch it. And they are both WILDSEER'S. So let's just pause, excuse me, and I'll put a couple cards down so you can see them side by side. All right, this might be a really nice way to show you how well they look together. And we'll finish off with the Star, the Sun, and Judgment. So, let me know if you've done this. Maybe I'm not the first person who's done this with these two decks, but quite enjoying how they look together. And that is merging the WILDSEER'S and the Wild Reflections. So, enjoy and let me know what you think. Have a great day.